Good evening, everybody. I am Rene Ritchie, and tonight we have for you a very special edition of ZEN and TECH. That's because it's February, and as everyone knows, February is Fitness Month at Mobile Nations. Week 1 is exercise, and to help everyone get started, we have Georgia and we have Kevin, and they're going to pump you up. Georgia, how's it going?
It's going well. It's going well.
Kevin's got
I'm excited. I like Fitness Month.
A wiggle weight. Is it a shake weight or a wiggle weight, Kevin?
That is a shake weight, but I do a mean wiggle with it.
Is it? I'm afraid you're gonna like smash yourself in the mouth.
We
and
did use
go down.
that for the video, right?
I may have already accidentally smashed myself in the mouth with the shake weight. So I'm going to switch to this and just work on my hand grips, because I've been typing so many tens of thousands of words over the BlackBerry Z10 launch that I think I'm giving myself a little carpal tunnel, because the ergonomics are not the same at our Crackberry HQ in Toronto.
Tell me, what is Fitness Month, Kevin? What brought it about? What made it happen?
So what happened was last year, 2012, at CES, we were all sitting around breakfast at Planet Hollywood, eating our delicious creme brulee waffles and Fiesta, Santa Fe, whatever omelets, pigging out, and I don't know, between Adam, Phil, myself, we all complained we were getting fat. And somebody suggested, hey, why don't we do a fitness challenge month? And from that idea was born. And then last year it was a really great idea. Everybody was really on board at CES. And then we started with a kickoff on February 1st. And then about 2 weeks later, we were like, oh, wait, nobody's really done any fitness content. So then we sent out a nasty email, and then everybody posted lots of content for the next 2 weeks, and we finished strong. We started slow and we finished strong. So this year we're trying to be a little bit more consistent, because Rene, you took charge this year.
I did.
You didn't put it in my hands.
Well, you were busy. You were busy with the BlackBerry 10 launch. And that's a lot of work, but it's not the same kind of work. And I think your stroke of brilliance with Fitness Month was doing it in February, because everyone always makes plans in January. And
exactly.
You're recovering from the holidays. It's easy to fall out of good habits. And then February comes. This is a good way to smack you in the face and get you back up and running.
That's true. So that's the justification that really makes a lot of logical sense, and I'm going to go with that. I kind of think the real reason is that February is the shortest month of the year. So if you're going to do a fitness month and you're lazy, 28 days is better than 31. And we started a few days late, so we're really keeping it to 4 strict weeks, and that's it this year. No, I'm kidding. You're totally right. It's absolutely, January is always easy, right? And then February you fall off the bandwagon, like I have right now. And I feel a little fraudulent even talking about this. But I'm going to start off with my tip of the year. Okay. Which is, if you grow out your hair on your head and maybe a little facial hair, you could carry probably another 10 or 15 pounds and nobody will really notice. It somehow frames the head a little bit better. So I think I look skinnier right now than I did last year, yet I'm probably a few pounds heavier.
See, you say that, but you're also a mobile tech lover, and CES last year, and even more so at CES this year, mobile is becoming ubiquitous. It's not just in phones and tablets. There's mobile in everything. I mean, we're wearing Nike Fuel Bands right now.
That is true. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, phones have just become the connector to all the real cool stuff out there. Oh, you actually went for that one, the see-through guy.
That's the Boba Fett. It looks exactly like a Star Wars bounty hunter.
No, I went black. We all went black. But you know what's funny is I did a control group, so I bought a fuel band. I got one for Erica, my fiance, for her sister, and for her husband. And because I was curious, I was like, well, I'm going to use it because I'm kind of geeky that way. But I'm like, man, if Erica actually uses it and she continues to use it, then that's truly, there's the beginning of a big movement here, right? Like I think we're just scratching the surface of all this connected fitness accessory stuff. But I'm like, if somebody like her, if she buys into it, that's huge. And she's totally bought into it. And the thing is, because you can connect with your friends and she's super competitive, well, now it's not just that she uses it, she wants to win. Yes. So that's pretty powerful, right?
Yeah, well, no, and it's true. I mean, I got one, Georgia got one, Georgia's husband got one, a bunch of the iMore writers got one. I know the WP Central guys, I think they're using Fitbit, but they all got something. My mom got a Fuel Band because she's been walking, and she liked the idea of actually keeping track of what she was doing because, you know, it's one thing to just do it, but then you feel tired, you feel lazy. But when you're staring at that thing on your wrist or your phone or on your lapel, it's kind of taunting you, saying, keep going, look at the numbers.
That's the thing. I like the real-time feedback. I love on the Fuel Band being able to tap a button and cycle through it. Although I will say it's still a little thick for somebody who sits at a computer a lot and types. You do notice it.
Well, it's taunting you, Kevin. Your tapping is going tap, tap, tap. That means walk, walk, walk. Get off your ass. Walk, walk, walk.
I guess so. But you know the fundamental flaw with it so far.
What's that?
Is they never put in like a software setting for compensating for Italians who talk with their hands. Because again, coming back to the competitive nature here, you know, Erica will wrap up like 20,000 points. It's all just like talking all day long. Is Georgia coming back to join us or
She
not
is.
right now?
She is. She just called back in.
Let's pipe her in. I'll do a little. I'll turn up the music here for a minute while you figure it out.
Oh, I got her.
Oh, you got her?
I'm so sorry, Kevin. Every time you talk about BlackBerry 10, my MacBook Pro dies.
Well, that's good. BlackBerry 10, BlackBerry 10, BlackBerry 10.
It's like Beetlejuice. We were just talking about the Nike Fuel Band, and Kevin was saying it's not fair because his girlfriend is Italian and she talks with her hands and she's racking up unfair points.
It's true. So true. I want my competences. I demand.
It seems sometimes that when I use it, it seems to give me a lot of points at some points, and sometimes I don't. I just get frustrated some days. Some days I don't even move, and suddenly I'm hitting goals really early.
You mentioned also that it has like a non-standard charger so that it makes it less convenient to keep. Like, you only have to charge it once a week, but it still makes it less convenient to charge.
I hate having to charge it. Actually, that's what happened is that it died, and I haven't plugged it in yet because I put the charger somewhere. I don't know where I've placed it. So it's sitting there.
That's really funny. So here was the phone call I got. I bought these all around Christmas time, and I hooked up Erica's. And it's funny that I'm talking about her here because it just is. But I charged hers up. She wore it for a week, and then I get a phone call from her. She was at work or something, and she's like, "Kevin, my Fuel Band broke." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "It won't turn on." And like, it's just dead. Like, push the button, nothing happens. And I'm like, "Well, have you charged it lately?" She says, "You have to charge them." She didn't know because I gave it to her. She didn't charge it the first time. I gave it to her charged, and she's like, well, "This is stupid." So again, even in 2013, battery life is still our big thing to overcome.
We're bound.
Batteries suck. We need. And here's the real thing: if it moves, you should be able to charge that thing with kinetic energy. It should be full of like piezoelectric sensors and winders.
Like,
I mean, this wristwatch doesn't have a battery.
It should be attached to your shake weight. It can be like those flashlights where you shake and it suddenly works.
Something.
Yeah, you know, and this is just this is one of the many gadgets that we're seeing that does this. But Georgia, before we get too deep into the gadget stuff, what is the actual benefit to exercise? Because people say, "Oh, it'll help you stay in shape," but you know, damn, that donut is tasty. Damn, that Burger King looks good. What benefits do we get from exercise that overcomes even a donut or a Whopper?
Well, one of the wonderful things about exercise is that it lets out all of these really happy endorphins. So it makes us feel better about ourselves. It's one of the best ways to combat depression and anxiety at the same time.
Like cheap drugs.
It is. It's so much cheaper than anything else. And the problem is that it takes a lot, it expends energy to give you energy. You always feel better after you exercise as long as you don't overdo it and or hurt yourself. But it's that finding a way to motivate yourself. It's hard to do. You don't want to do it. I'm already tired at the end of the day. It's not like I want to, dance around my house when I get home. I really just want to sit on the couch and watch a TV show.
Let's say you spent a month toiling away on a new BlackBerry launch, and you're done for the night, and you have a choice between running out to Burger King or doing some exercise, like kickboxing someone who works for you. What is the better choice health-wise?
Well, I'll ask Kevin. Kevin, what have you been doing to keep motivated to exercise besides just getting your hair done?
So I've just been typing a lot, and I type really fast, so I feel like I'm burning a lot of calories. My fingers are very...
What does your Fuel Band say?
They're very lean and muscular from all the typing. I've had a very poor start to Fitness Month this year, and actually, it all goes back to Dan Rubino coming and Hurricane Sandy.
You're going to blame Dan, really?
I was on a really good fitness kick until he showed up in Winnipeg for like 3 days when there was a power outage. I mean, really good. I was like on the path to health. And then he showed up, and then he left, and then Blaze showed up in Winnipeg for 3 weeks. And he stayed at like my office gym. So then I totally fell off my routine. And then Christmas happened, and then I went to Vegas, and I came home and got sick. Then I had a week, and then I moved to Toronto for the last 3 weeks, and I've been working nonstop. So basically, I'm giving you a whole list of excuses, and you're supposed to yell at me and tell me how to correct my life. Because right now I feel like I'm really on the path to awesomeness, except I'm not following through on the health.
What have you done to Kevin 3.0?
On a whole bunch of things. Well, I was thinking of two things. One thing is it's nice to have little tiny goals, but I was thinking that we should have a challenge for all of us, all of the different sites and all of the different people, and see if we can track, put it down somewhere, and see who can actually keep up. Because for me, little tiny achievements make a big difference. I'm highly competitive. I don't like to lose. And that would motivate me past the I'm really tired and I don't want to work out. What works for you, Rene?
The same thing. I'm highly competitive and I hate to lose. And Daniel Rubino has already been trash talking us nonstop about how he's going to kick ass. And I mean, like, because Kevin and I work for a living. Dan goes to the gym. This is what we've established already. And he already weighs like 96 pounds, so it's entirely not fair.
He is he's pretty, he's not overweight, right?
His tattoos weigh more than he does. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Have you ever seen his tattoo?
Yes. I think he's got
crazy.
I haven't, and I'm not gonna ask how both of you have.
You can't really miss it.
Yeah, he looks like something out of a Yakuza movie.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like 300,000 hours of commitment.
But I mean, that's the kind of thing that's good. I mean, I think that we will absolutely start that. Starting today after this podcast, I'm going to go into the iMore campfire room and talk a bunch of trash and see who's there. But my problem with this stupid Nike Fuel app on the iPhone is that if you go to the friends section, if you're on the website, you can just invite friends. But if you go to the app, it's only got stupid Facebook friends. I hate that. I hate when apps try to bind me because nobody that I know in real life, none of my real friends use Facebook. So I'm trying to friend them, but I can only friend them outside of the app. It's driving me crazy.
No, and I hate having to, like, again, I use my phone. I will not even tweet on my computer. I know that I'm abhorrent for that, but so if it doesn't work on the phone, I'm not going to use it. And so, yeah, like there's certain things with that. Like even the Nike Fuel Band, for me, it's good beginning because I get to see how far I've gone, which I really, really love. But again, I just have to charge the stupid thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to figure that out. And we should do a comparison between the Fitbit and the Nike Fuel. And there's a third one, isn't there? Oh, the Jawbone Up, which I had the original and nenever worked for me.
Though, for me, I get motivated. If I have really good music, I'll want to move.
So true.
If there's music playing, I'll be dancing to it horribly, embarrassingly.
What about TV shows like Xena or something? Is that motivational?
I used to train watching Xena all the time. I found it really inspirational. Yeah, so if I watch, say, Spartacus or something else, yeah, I wanna go there and kick butt as well. Though, also having the stuff close at hand. If I have to set anything up, I'm not going to do it. It should be something that's really easy and effortless to take place with. I don't know.
What I did is I lack, it's not that I lack discipline or motivation. When I'm at home and by myself, I'm always busy. There's always someone Skyping me, usually Kevin. There's always someone in Campfire asking for something. There's always a story to write. So I actually leave now. I've been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for about 10 years, but I've gotten used to that to the extent that I don't expend a lot of energy at it anymore. I know it well enough that my body's found economical ways of doing it. So I went back to stand-up fighting and I started doing Muay Thai. I'm going to be doing that twice a week for the rest of the month. So
I thought you were going to say for the rest of my life.
Well, no, I mean I'm going to do it carrying on, but specifically for Fitness Month. And I like it because it's in a group, and I don't want to do worse than the other people in the group, so it's motivational. And I find it functional. I don't like just exercise. There was this famous comic book where Conan came to the 21st century, and he went to a gym, and he said, there's a difference between earning your strength, lifting bits of iron, or fighting for your life on the fields of Siberia. And I like the idea of exercising in combat.
And then after you killed everyone in the gym and felt better.
Yeah, no, but I like the idea of exercising in a way that I can apply it against other human beings if I ever need to.
I like exercising in a way that builds a skill as well, because I find I don't know why, some people love running. I look at people running and I feel bad for them. It's just a personal choice of mine. But if I'm building up a skill, whatever that may be, dancing, a martial art, or playing a sport that I really enjoy, I'll move for it because, again, you're on a team or you're doing something to build something up. And so that I'll keep doing, and I find it more fun. I'm not really great for being, someone that just goes to a gym and self-trains. I'll probably be a little bit more slack on myself versus having someone else there that I would not want to disappoint. So I would work out a little bit harder.
So, Kevin, we've got a bunch of really cool contests going up to, like, every day we have a thread in every Mobile Nations forums where you can tell us what exercise you did for the day, how many steps, how many runs, what kind of yoga, what kind of gym you went to. And we also have threads where people can tell us how they use their devices for their exercise. Is there something from the BlackBerry? I mean, you are the BlackBerry user. I kind of think RIM designed the Z10 with you, and maybe the Q10, but the Z10 with you in mind. How do you use your device for your fitness?
So I go through different cycles of how I use it. And one of my biggest things in the past has been actually coping with the distraction of the phone when I take it to the gym. I find as soon as, on the BlackBerry, when the red light goes off and that kind of thing, that I need to play with it. I need to check who messaged me and that kind of thing. So actually, at the gym, when I go to lift weights or something, that's one of the very, very few times in the day where I try to put it away, because then I can get on go running on a track, go outside and get away with it. But it's only when in use, like I'm actually doing physical activity, that I then try to put it away. But then outside of the gym, through normal day life, when I normally have my phone with me, then that's when I start to find it a lot more useful. So for connected accessories, obviously, I really like too. One of my favorite things is the Withing scale, which then tracks my body weight and that, and I use that on different apps. Certain apps like the push-up contest and that kind of thing, the 100 push-ups and that, I'll use those on my phone, because I guess the thing is, when I look at my phone all day, if I see the icons looking back at me, then I'm constantly thinking about it and trying to make slightly better decisions, or at least less stupid decisions. So it's funny. It's almost like just having them there, looking at them and not even using them, you start to live a little bit better.
It's like peer pressure, but it's app pressure.
It is. Even last year for my New Year's resolutions, I went old school and I put those little sticky note things, the ones you have to use the little typewriter clamp thing to make, and I stuck them all over my computer monitor. And they say things like stand up straight, don't sit down, drink more water. And it's funny, when you have those things staring back at you all day, it's more effective than if you just don't have them and then you just forget and you go back to your lazy ways. So, BlackBerry, where I'm really excited is with BlackBerry 10, because now we have a much better app ecosystem developing. We had some okay apps on BlackBerry smartphones before, but, they were arguably tedious to use, some of them, especially the ones geared at pure fitness. But, some of the nutrition trackers and that were good. But I think with BB10 over the next month, what I'm going to do is really spend time looking at what's in here and putting it to use.
Small elephant in that room with you.
Those were our blinds closing. No respect.
Wow.
No respect. We must be close to 30 minutes. Everybody wants to go to Burger King. So they're like, let's finish the show. No, I'm kidding. Cool.
So, Rene,
yes.
You must be the father of the iPhone. So I'll ask the same question that you asked Kevin to you. How do you use your phone to keep you motivated to exercise?
I use it for a lot of things. I do the muscle balance and posture alignment exercises in the mornings. I try to do it every morning. I don't always succeed, but I try to do it first thing in the morning. And anyone who's ever listened to our Super Functional podcast knows what those are. But you can think of them as preventative rehabilitation exercises, stuff to correct things that go wrong in your body before they become a physiotherapy issue. And they require a lot of timing. You have to do very specific exercises, usually for very small muscle groups, for set periods of time. So I use the timer on my iPhone all the time. The minute goes off, I switch to the next exercise. Minute goes off, I switch to the next exercise. I also use Elements, which is a Dropbox syncing note app to keep... You always have to update the program because your body gets used to certain exercises. So I use Elements in Dropbox to keep my latest program on there so I can always refer to it. For some reason, I can remember every detail about the iPhone. I can remember everything about every movie or comic book I've ever seen or read, but I cannot remember the short series of 10 exercises that I do every day. So that is it. It's probably a psychological thing. So that is in Dropbox and Elements. And then I have the P90X app, which I started last year. I didn't really stick with, but because it's fitness month, any day that I'm not going to jiu-jitsu or Thai boxing, I'm trying to do a little bit of the P90X stuff. And I like the fact that on the phone, it can show you video. It can set your calendar for you. It can give you the list of exercises for you to go through. And it really is like carrying a boot camp in your pocket. And that's never really been technologically possible, 4 or 5 years ago. So I think it's a huge help to me in my daily programs.
I also use reminders. Just being able to be reminded, listen, you have to exercise, similar to what Kevin used with the Post-its, but just having the reminder on my phone, listen, this is the time that you should exercise. I'm quite achievement-oriented. Like, if it tells me to do it, I'm going to go off and do it. I would rather if I had something like a Mr. T mode where it would yell at me and say, hey, get off of your tail and start exercising.
Get off your apps and get up.
You'll be healthier and you'll feel better if you do it for a while. And it should like play some sort of funky music, so I would have to dance wherever that might be. Hey, Blaze.
Yeah, Blaze was made a quick
Except he had his hand over it. I couldn't read what it was saying.
But Blaze is pranky, but he doesn't do it. He doesn't fulfill it.
What were you doing? I didn't even notice. Oh my god, I just saw that. That's so rude.
I missed it. I'm so sad. We're going to have to send a photo after.
So, Georgia,
really...
Go ahead, Kev.
Sorry, I was going to say it's really bad, and we're like going on no sleep in this place. So I'm like, oh.
It's like Lord of the Flies.
How much sleep should I be getting, Georgia? Tell me.
Truly, you should be getting 7.5 to 8.5 hours of sleep a night. And more, like, that animals die if you don't give them enough sleep. Like, they will die completely, like keel over and die. It's a form of torture, and probably, like, I think it is, 5 days without sleep, you become temporarily insane.
Hey, you guys want to know a secret?
Yes.
Daniel Rubino, before joining Mobile Nations full-time, was a sleep technician, and he's going to be on the show not next week, but the week after to talk about sleep with us.
Oh, that's so cool.
And tattoos.
Very, very cool.
He's been
very
giving us
cool. And I'll be able to say that I've seen them as well then.
Nice.
But yeah, you're going to need to have your sleep. Exercise and sleep work really well together. So that's why I think it's 2 weeks we're going to be working on everyone's sleep habits and trying to make them a little bit better so that we'll be well-rounded.
So I know what everybody listening right now is wondering.
What's that?
It's the elephant in the room. It's the question everybody always asks.
What's
and
that?
Nobody gets an answer. Does sexy time count as exercise?
Definitely.
Really?
Definitely. It's actually probably one of the healthiest things to do, especially if you really enjoy it. And yeah, it's really well worth it. So if you have an active and healthy sex life, that's good. Keep it safe, but it's really good for you, and it does count. And you might as well wear your Nike Fuel Band, though it's a little bit unsexy at the same time.
Okay,
Leave
that's
it on
a good
the
answer.
bed.
Now, I was going to go to the boxer question next, because I don't understand that one. Because boxers aren't supposed to sexy time before a fight. Is that actually true or not? I'm going there. I'm taking it there.
You might as well. It's a good question. It's not really true. It hasn't been scientifically studied. Of course, you are expending energy and a certain amount of glucose, but nothing that would be anything worthy that you would have to worry about it. It is a old wives' tale about losing your chi, your main energy, and giving it to someone else. So it's not supposed to be good. But
look, if every morning a sweaty boxer who's been running for 19 miles comes home to you, you'll make up the same excuse for him that these poor boxing wives have done before every match.
Okay.
Right.
What would GSP do before a fight, though, Rene?
He would probably body slam people by accident. I don't know.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, carry on. Sorry, I just wanted to.
Truly, for boxers, you do want to be single-minded about the fight, and being a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more angry works out really well. Actually, being slightly anxious before a fight is helpful to you because you're going to set off your adrenaline and cortisol, which will make you a little bit stronger, a little bit faster, and a little bit harder. And that's why you'll see some fighters like smack themselves in the face. We always laugh when BJ Penn used to do his fights and he'd like smack himself in the eye. But it's just to rev them up so that they would have that adrenaline and be able to fully fight out. So
and I would also like to point out that it's not just men that fight. There's a lot of really, really good female fighters out there.
That is very true.
Yes.
That is very true. Yeah, exactly.
George, how do we stay motivated? I mean, it's all well and good to have a fitness month, a fitness week. We all start off really energetic with the best of intentions, with a lot of hope, and then life always gets in the way. Just you take the kids here. Can you do this? Oh, this is an emergency. And then pretty soon days have passed and we haven't done anything. So how do we keep doing stuff? And if we do get caught up in life, how do we quickly get back to doing stuff?
Well, I think that giving yourself a small reward every time you do something good is a great way to motivate yourself. So anything that works for you. If you get to work out, you get to play a little bit of video game. Or if you get to work out, you get to watch your favorite show. Eat something healthy and tasty. Congratulate yourself when you do it. And if you miss a day, don't be so hard on yourself. Just say, listen, I'm going to do a little bit more the next day. But I think that it's the hard thing is getting started. Usually once you're in motion and you're starting it, it's much easier. But you just have to kind of get off of the couch and move a little bit and then be proud of yourself. Even if it's 10 or 15 minutes, that's usually what I say for people to start is just do 15 minutes of light cardio. And start off from there and then see where you go. And monitor how you feel after and what your body feels like afterwards.
Brad in the chat room
saying, tomorrow morning I'm waking up and I'm working out for real.
Are you?
Yeah,
Are you
everybody in this room heard it.
After you've worked out to prove it to us that you have?
I'll do it.
Yeah, you should have Blaze just send take a picture of you doing I don't know what do you do?
I'll take my Z10 to the gym and I'll record myself with my shirt on.
White Z10, black Z10. White Z10, black Z10.
Did you know what was really creepy last night? I don't know if you saw in the blogs. I did a nice editorial today. And it was Kevin being, Crackberry Hawk, so I was all green. But we came. It was last night. I was in the bathroom at 1 a.m. and I was like, this is a good idea. And I just walked out with my shirt off. And I was like, Simon, I need you to take photos of me. But I didn't tell him why or what the purpose was. So
my eyes still burn.
Yeah, Simon's eyes are burning. And Jay has not quite recovered.
All right, so Brad has a couple interesting points in the chat room. He says if you miss a day, you can double up the next day.
Yep.
You can exercise while in a caloric deficit, just right after you fasted overnight. Are those also wives' tales, George? Are those also urban myths, or are those true?
Well, definitely. You don't have to exercise every day, and actually over-exercising is really unhealthy for your body. So you want to exercise as you can and be good with yourself. Really missing a day here or there is not a big deal. Just keep at it. It's better to exercise one day than to exercise none at all. I think that people are often all or nothing, and so they're I'm going to exercise every day, and they put their standards so high that they're going to fail.
They pull a hammy and stop for a year.
And then they feel, yeah, exactly. And then they feel so horrible about themselves. So I say just, get moving, do something. It's great for your body. And even if you're, really, really healthy, it's fabulous for your stress as well. So you're doing something for everyone else around you because you will be a little bit less grumpy and foul afterwards.
What about self-image? Does exercise help you with self-image, or is self-image something you should have regardless of whether you exercise or not?
Yeah, I believe that your self-image should not depend on what your body looks like. So that's my own feeling on it. Though, if you're exercising, you feel better about yourself because you're doing something for you, and it's a little bit of self-love. So in that respect, I think that it's really healthy for you feeling like, you know what, I've done something, it was good for me. You feel a little bit healthier, you release some happy endorphins. So in that manner, it works out really, really well as well, which will raise your self-esteem. But whatever you look like, great, love yourself anyways. Self-acceptance.
Tabla Morial says that his doctor told him to go from 30 to 40 minutes of cardio. And do you have an opinion on it? Before you answer that, I just want to say that I have a friend who won. It was a provincial level grappler. He won tournaments up and down. He did grappling every day, and the doctor said, you should really think about exercising. So what a doctor perceives as exercise is not always reflective of reality.
It would depend on what they are telling you to exercise for. If it's just for stress or anxiety, 20 to 30 minutes is all that you would need, but it would be of cardio. If you're doing it for something else, I would not know in that respect. But usually in my field, just for the basic health and well-being, You don't need to over-exercise. It's more make sure that your heart is working for at least 15 minutes. And as long as your heart's beating faster, it's getting stronger. And so then you'll be have a little bit better cardio after that.
All right.
How do you feel about supplements? And drinking coffee and things to like artificially get your heart going, so then you want to go to the gym. Because I like to cheat when possible. So then I'm like, hey, I'm gonna have 5 shots of espresso and then go work out once I feel the buzz.
You want 5 shots of espresso?
Hey, I've got some old.
Or it's probably like the squirrel at the end of Over the Hedge when time has stopped.
Right, but will it mess me up? Is that a bad thing? Do I need to just give up on like any get going things and? Because then I don't feel like I have a good workout. So it's a vicious cycle.
If it works for you, that's all fine. But really, after at a certain level of caffeine, you can end up giving yourself a little bit of a mild anxiety attack. So you want to try to eat healthy and things that work for you. I believe in just eating regular food. I don't believe in having supplements unless there is something that is already missing from your diet. If you eat a well-rounded, different colored food groups as you go through, you really shouldn't have to worry about that. But if that's something that'll motivate you, or perhaps you need just something to get you up and moving, and 5 shots of espresso would do it, great, go for it. But you really don't need to. I don't believe in energy drinks. I think that they're overpriced and they kind of undergive you what you need. I was actually watching someone that was doing what is it called? It's not synthol, but it's that the synthetic plastic that people inject in their muscles to make like all their fake muscles look really, really buff, but they have actually no use at all for themselves. Don't.
Keep it real.
So in the chat room, we're now talking about supplements, and Vin suggested NO Explode, which I have. That's like my favorite weightlifting drink. But that stuff can't be good for you. Like, it's got to be just full of crap. Because, I mean, it makes your skin tingle and you get, like, flushed. And then you're like, woo, woo. And then you go work out. But then, if you do that for every day for the rest of your life, I figure it's going to kill you.
It's a good shot of Hulk serum is what I like. Well, I destroy half in New York afterwards, but it works.
I also like ephedrine, which I probably shouldn't say because I don't know if you can buy it anymore. But I got sources to still buy it, so...
Yeah,
it tends to work.
being shot up with adrenaline will make you want to exercise more because you want to burn off the anxiety that you have from that. You could do the same thing by actually just getting angry. Sam Sabri says in the chat room that he gets angry when he's using it. It's because your body you're going through fight or flight. It's a natural, endorphins are kicking in as you're getting the adrenaline and cortisol rushing through your body. You really get that on its own just by working out.
So
but it kind of gives you that kickstart. You probably don't need it. You could just have a fight with your girlfriend or boyfriend and then
Kevin
go
can
work
think
out.
about all those Forbes BlackBerry bloggers, Kevin.
What?
Just think about the Forbes BlackBerry bloggers.
Oh, those guys, they're so dumb. Now it's a New York Times guy I need to tear into.
See, now you're motivated. Go!
Yeah,
exactly. Now you can go train.
All right.
So many people who just are lazy, but not when it comes to working out, when it comes to doing research about writing proper blog posts in the year 2013.
See? He's riled.
Despicable. It's like when BlackBerry ruined bedside mode on BlackBerry 10, it just makes me so angry. See the words? They know it. Angry.
You see? All you have to do now you can train. Kevin is ready.
That's it.
So we have a whole bunch of contests. Just waiting. We have a whole bunch of contests and stuff that we are giving away. Can you give, what do people have to do in order to be entered in, Rene?
All they have to do is go to the Health and Fitness Forum on any Mobile Nation site. There's 2 threads at any one time. One is how you use your device. So this week it's how you use your device for exercise. Exact same thing Kevin and I just spoke about. What do you do? Make it like a blog post because we're going to pick some of our favorite ones and put them up on the site. And the winner of that will get a $100 gift certificate. We also have daily threads where you can tell us just what you're doing. If you're using a Nike Fuel Band or a Fitbit or something, just share with us your daily goals. If you don't have one, that's fine. Just tell us, I went for a walk, I went and played tennis, whatever you did for the day. And every day we're going to pick somebody and give them a $20 gift certificate. We're also going to do the usual Mobile Nations thing where at the end of the month we're going to pick someone who participated and they are going to get their dream device for that site. So a Windows device or an iOS device or a BlackBerry device or an Android device. And this is going on all week long. So this week is exercise, next week is nutrition, Kevin's already distracted by a small toy or chipmunk.
Oh, it's a gyroscope. It makes yourself very strong.
Nice. So, Georgia, we're going to be doing Zen and Tech every week for this month, right?
Try it. It's
Yes.
crazy.
So next week we're going to do nutrition.
No, that's how you hurt yourself.
Next week we're doing food. Yes,
Yep.
what you eat, because it's great to exercise, but what you put into you is what you'll get out.
And we will tell you, we will officially let you know whether at the end of this episode Kevin worked out or he worked his way to Burger King.
It's,
One of those two things will happen.
I don't know what's going to happen.
He has promised an actual video of the event, so we will see. We will see.
So Kevin,
And now that his hair is cut, he's more svelte.
yes, you're faster
So
now.
It's not
in theory,
cut, though.
you should be able to work out easier.
It's just the ponytail's gone. I haven't cut anything else yet, but
Is it true that ponytail is now framed in Torsten Heinz's office?
well, so there's we don't know what happened to it. I hear there might be a museum opening dedicated to blackberries, and my hair might make an appearance there.
Nice.
But it did get smuggled back over the border to Canada in a Ziploc bag. I can tell you that much.
All right, Kevin.
Not
So,
funny. Which is really creepy. Like, it's kind of creeping me out to think that somewhere is my lock of hair.
Being
I feel like
cloned.
it's part to be missing. I don't
A
quite
very
know.
small wig for someone.
But hey, I lost some weight. I probably weigh like a little bit less after the haircut.
That's
Nice.
true.
so Kevin,
That's true.
if people were charmed by your appearance on Zen and Tech tonight, where can they find out more about you, more about Crackberry, and more about Fitness Month?
Well, crackberry.com is the website. My handle on the Twitter and Facebook and other places is Crackberry Kevin. Even maybe LinkedIn or something has
Nice.
that. Yeah.
And Fitness Month, you guys are putting up. Yesterday, I believe it was apps. Today, you have an accessories roundup. Keep it locked on Crackberry.
Yeah, the ladies on our team are really taking charge of Fitness Month on Crackberry, and Rene's helping out. You guys are helping out, so yeah,
Nice.
it's all happening there. Just tune in every day. There's something going on.
And you can do the same thing at Android Central, same thing at WebOS Nation, same thing at WP Central. Every forum, every site is participating. Georgia, what about you? Where can we find out more about you and your Zen and Techiness?
You can find me on iMore, and you can also find me. I just changed my Twitter handle, so it is Georgia_Prime.
Is that like Optimus
Prime?
Prime?
It is. It is like Optimus Prime. I'm actually a little. It was a little hard. It was hard to let go of Tippy.
You were our last bit of Tippy.
I am. I'm the last remaining. It's like a dinosaur. I'm like the last of the Mohicans.
Oh, lonely dinosaur.
So
The Mohicans were dinosaurs?
They are. There was a Mohicosaurus.
Yeah, the Mohicosaurus, no.
You can find me at imore.com or at Rene Ritchie. You can find all of us at Mobile Nations or any of the individual sites, androidcentral.com, wpcentral.com, webosnation.com, imore.com, and crackberry.com. For all of our shows, go to mobilenations.com/shows, and we will be back next Wednesday night live, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, for Fitness Month Week 2 Nutrition. Bring your burgers.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Kevin's right now going for a Whopper.